Hello, this is Paloma. I come back with the story the sky is telling in gratitude for this space. So astrology shows us cycles, the spiral movement, the helical dance of the universe, really. And it tells us a story so that we can weave a narrative live with this energy in a co-creative exercise, ideally sovereign exercise. So when we peek into the future through the transits, it's really about attuning ourselves or synchronizing ourselves with the pulse of the cosmos. Saying that, it's important this week that we start taking in account what comes next week. That way we can prepare our energy, cultivate flow, and also just enjoy the beauty that these few days will provide. So on the 15th of July, we have an important alignment. It's Mars and Urano in a conjunction in Tauro. So Urano is change, rebellious, revolutionary, surprising, disruptive energy. It's about awakening, about freedom, about authenticity and creativity. In mythology, he's the god of the heavens. And Mars, when he speaks with Urano, he activates, he's an igniter. So he's going to energize this energy. And this is a planet of action, of the exercise of will as well. Therefore, this union, this conjunction, tends to express as a very intense kind of eruptive energy, quite radical, sudden, and it brings changes. Let's say it's like a big lightning that somehow strikes us and awakens us and frees us through that energy. In the best or the highest expression, I think this is a highly motivating alignment to break through, to break free, to interrupt patterns that were a limitation to the expression of our freedom and authenticity. So it can be looked at as an opening or an opportunity to redeem or emancipate ourselves. The thing is, when it's not very well integrated, this is quite a reactive energy. It's volcanic, it's hasty. It can create accidents, for example, and it can even be violent. So I will be speaking more of this conjunction, but I wanted to bring it now because even though it's next week, and we also have the other week, the second full moon in Capricorn, which is a radical combination of structures, this energy is already here. Now it's permeating the climate, the astrological weather. And what Urano brings usually surprises us. So what can we do? It's really about staying open, flexible, willing to move, to flow, to change. And knowing that whatever this lightning reveals, it's really with the intent of awakening us and freeing us so we can open our consciousness. I suggest to have the experience of feeling this impulse because it's a sensation of wanting to break free with an important dose of rebelliousness. No, but we can approach this with maturity. And if we choose to actually direct this very electric energy, this can be that opening that allows us to ride this wave with beauty. Or we can also just, get a little shaken by the energy, and there will be a learning in that as well. So it's just a lot of energy, and it requires a self-regulating exercise of keeping center and cultivating serenity through it. Okay, so in that awareness that even though that's coming next week, it's already here. This week, we have important activations with Venus, and she is the queen of Tauro energy. So whatever she's doing becomes quite relevant because in a way she's sort of like orchestrating whatever the change or the revolution will bring. And this goddess of love is going to speak with three transpersonal planets, the three planets that are really bringing about this big transformation and change this week precisely. And these planets, which is Neptune, Pluto, and Urano, they're really of a spiritual nature. They transcend the space of very intimate personal evolution because they take us into these wider dimensions of existence. The paradox, though, is that we elaborate this energy in the intimacy of every single one of our relationships, because Venus works with relationships, with creativity, resources, self-love, self-value, love, sexuality. And this is a visionary feminine impulse that's inviting us to rise into new spirals, to incorporate new consciousness of love. So she's going to speak with Urano. These are all harmonic dialogues. Now she speaks with Urano. So this re-evolution of love, of how we understood love and relationship, well, it carries on, and it asks or even clamors for more space in terms of authenticity, truth, and genuine freedom. And then she's going to speak with Neptune, and this brings in the dimension of divine love, of inspiration, subtlety. It's very artistic, and it's also an invitation to transcend this the illusion of romantic love that we built. No, so there might be a disillusionment through this dialogue. And then Venus is going to enter Leo. She's the Queen of Hearts there, right? And as soon as she's there, she's going to have this opposition with Pluto, which I was saying last week. It was like an open heart in front of this alchemical, transformative, powerful energy, which is Pluto. And this will show us more of these hidden dynamics within relationships in terms of power, control, manipulation, because it's a cleansing of every one of our relationships. It shows the truth of intentions and also what is underlying. Now, the river, underneath the river, we can listen to that. And this will show us if this way of relating has true reciprocity, equity, beauty, balance. And we will feel this through perhaps feeling disempowered and understanding that we are being depleted in this way of relating, or we're giving away your power, maybe even taking too much energy from the other ones. So it's really a very naked honesty that is required so we can actually move forward into truly healthy, whole, and holy relationships. In its beautiful expression, it's quite magnetic, erotic, intense, and passionate energy. So when we look at it, we have a week with very creative activations, and also Venus has just risen, see, into the evening sky. So we can now see her again in the sky. This is very important in the cycle of Venus, and in this phase we call her Quetzalcoatl in Spanish. So she is the feathered serpent when she is the evening star, and she's inviting us to rise and to start flying with her into the spiritual maturity of our hearts. Now she reappears in Leo, which is the heart center, this portal that actually unites heaven and earth through our creativity and through our will. It's beautiful, but it's also challenging because she is asking us to truly step into this spiritual maturity of love in earth and for earth. So by the middle of the week, we also have an alignment of the Sun speaking with Saturn in harmony, which also accentuates for me this calling into a ripeness, a maturing of an efficient use of our energy, regulating this inner cosmos and its waters, the emotional realms, and also holding this vision through whatever we go through, holding it through time so we can actually commit in the here and the now with whatever we ought to respond to co-create this dream of a new home, because we just planted that seed. No? So there are beautiful and fluid activations to the nodes of fate through Jupiter and Mercury, and the nodes of fate are there in Aries and Libra, which are the signs that speak to our way of relating. No? And then the week is gonna end with a quarter moon in Libra as well, in a very activating phase of the full moon cycle. So yes, relationships are there in the middle of this sort of electric storm that is building up, gestating in the sky. So we can actually move into a way of relating that speaks of transcendence, of beauty, of harmony, of true balance, truth, and love. Yes, I think this week we can have a glimpse of what revolution Urano is going to bring through the dynamite of Mars, so we can actually create something beautiful and good of our lives, especially in the space of our relationships. And we are relationships, are we not? So I invite you to spread your wings, to respond for this power and this creativity with all the love and all the freedom that are your divine rights. Thank you.